Alrighty. What I want to discuss today is the B2B sales cycle. Now, I'm going to discuss what it looks like at a high level, what it all looks like. But what I really want to hone in on is the SDR portion of the sales cycle, because a B2B sales cycle, it can be long. So I really want to emphasize where you, as an SDR, will be focused. Um, so at a high level, there are basically two types of leads that you'll be running into as an SDR. There's inbound leads, and then there's outbound leads. That's it. Inbound leads are the best kind of leads that you can get. And these are the ones that come to you. So, what ends up happening, for example, is let's say a company is interested in buying or interested in evaluating your company's software. What they'll do is they'll go to the company website and do one of two things. Number one, they'll start to download a lot of content, or attend a bunch of webinars, or they'll request information, or request to be contacted, or in many cases, what they'll do is they'll request a demo on the company website. And basically, these leads are great because they're coming to you. You know that they're interested in what you have to offer, and they're interested because they likely have a big problem that they're looking to solve. And so these are inbound leads. And you usually get a meeting through a variety of emailing and calling, and then you set the meeting. And I'll go into what this process of emailing, calling looks like in a later video, but for now I want you to understand that there are inbound leads, and those are some of the types that you'll be dealing with. The other types are outbound leads. These are leads where you are reaching out to them. You are cold emailing them and cold calling them until they respond, usually through a series of 1 to 10 touches or touch points, and then that you set the meeting. So it's a little bit different from inbound, where these companies may not even know of your company. They might not even know you exist. Yet you're out reaching out to them in the hopes of landing a meeting so that you can inform them a little bit about what you guys do. And then in which case, if they're interested, or you guys solve a problem, your software solves a problem that they're looking to solve, well, in that case, you've just found a good opportunity. And so what you do is you set the meeting as you would with inbound leads. One thing to note here is that the SDR role is paid on the number of qualified meetings that they set. And so, what is a qualified lead? I'll go into this in way more depth in a later video, but basically, a qualified lead or a qualified meeting is a meeting with a company that is a good fit for what you guys offer, and they are interested in exploring further, meaning not only do you guys solve a problem that they're looking that not only do you solve a problem that they're having, but they're also actually actively looking to solve that problem in the near future. And so that's a qualified meeting. And so you are paid by, obviously you're paid a base salary as an SDR, which by the way is very different from a lot of sales roles. A lot of sales roles outside of the tech industry can be commission only. In the tech scene, you're given a good base salary, and then you're paid commissions on setting those qualified meetings. So that's really what metric you have. And then I wanted to really dumb it down or simplify it even further. Basically, you are either pursuing leads or you're finding them as an SDR. And the top SDRs are really good at identifying the best leads and converting them via good messaging. And that could happen either via phone, aka cold calling, or via email. So, just to drill down into that a little bit more, basically, as an SDR, you're going to get really good at identifying what a good prospect looks like, what a good potential client looks like, and versus what a bad client looks like. So let's take, for example, marketing software. I'll keep kind of reverting back to this example, but if you're selling marketing software, and let's say that your company specializes in selling to e-commerce brands, well, you wouldn't go and chase construction companies. You wouldn't go try to Google search or look up construction companies because they tend to not be a good fit for what your software provides. But let's say that your company has identified that they are a really good fit for e-commerce companies who make somewhere in the range of 100 million to $1 billion a year. Well, if you can get really good at finding those companies and finding the directors of marketing at those companies, and you're consistent at that, well, guess what? You're going to be a top performer real quick. I've found that weak SDRs or the bad SDRs or the SDRs that really could use some coaching are the SDRs who are not good at identifying those leads. And so basically what you're going to want to prioritize over time as you enter into the role is discerning who's a good lead and who's not, and then being relentless about chasing those good leads, and then being really just completely filtering out the rest. Now, what I want to talk about is the overall B2B sales cycle. What does it look like? And where do you fit into that picture? So, overall, the start and finish of a B2B sales cycle is here. The start is somehow getting a lead, whether you're sourcing that lead via inbound or outbound, doesn't matter. But at some point, you find the lead, they come to you, or you go to them, and that lead enters into the sales cycle because they're interested, right? They get you get the meeting with them, you get some sort of appointment, and you start the conversation. After that, after you have initial conversation and you understand if there is a good fit, basically what ends up happening is you pass it on to the AE, and the AE then runs it from there. They take over the rest of the sales cycle. They'll do discovery calls. Basically, discovery calls are where they figure out what their exact pain is and what it's costing them to have that pain or problem. And then from there, they start to do product demonstrations. After that, they start doing proof of concepts or trial periods. Then they start getting into sales quotes and pricings and negotiations until the deal is done. And this can take anything from this whole process can take anywhere from a few days to several months and even a couple of years for big multi-million dollar software deals. So it really does vary, but overall, where you'll play a role as the SDR is in the sourcing, and then in the getting the appointment, getting them initially to bite on that cold email or cold call that you send their way. And then what will end up usually happening is that the prospect or the potential client will say something along the lines of, no, I'm not interested, stop reaching out to me. Or they'll say, actually, this is a problem we've been discussing last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, and we're interested in learning a little bit more about what you guys have to offer. In which case, congratulations, you've just found a qualified lead. You set up that qualified meeting with the AE, and then the AE takes it from there. But as the SDR, you had that initial outreach to get them hooked, get them interested, and then getting them on a sales meeting so that your AE can do the rest. But in a nutshell, that's what the B2B sales cycle looks like. And in particular, USC SDR will be getting your hands dirty in those initial initial stages of the sales cycle. You really don't touch on these AE parts until you get that promotion. You will be kind of getting to listen in on some of these meetings, but really your full focus will be on sourcing the leads, talking to prospects, making sure that they're a good fit, and then if so, passing them on to the AE so they can do their job. And that's it.